underway. We're going to start with James Cole from Sky Sports News, then we'll go to Joe Wilson, and then we'll open it up to other broadcasters, and then we'll do a separate UK written huddle at the end as well. So cameras rolling at the back, all good? James, over to you.
Mo, you're coming out of retirement for one of the biggest, most anticipated Test series in recent history. How did it come about, and why have you decided to come out of retirement?
Obviously, Leachy got injured, and then, which is obviously sad for him, and it's a blow to the side, in my opinion. But Stokesy messaged me with a question mark, Ashes, and I didn't hear the news of Leachy at the time, and I just went LOL, thinking he's taking a mick, and then the news came through, and then I had a chat with him, and then that's it.
Is it something you've considered previously?
Not really, no. I've obviously spent a lot of time with Stokes, and we spoke about it in India during the IPL, and we didn't mention anything about obviously coming out of retirement, but it was more just about the Ashes and how he was looking to take the team, and and obviously Leachy's injury meant he obviously watched me train there and stuff like that, and I guess he still thinks I can bowl decently, so I don't know what to say really.
When you retired a couple of years ago, you cited motivational issues. What's changed now?
I think just the fact that it's the Ashes and it's such a big series, and the exciting cricket the guys have been playing. I think this is a kind of era I would have loved while I was playing, and it's just that it's the Ashes and it's so big, and to be part of it would be amazing. Yeah,
your batting certainly would seem to suit this attacking, aggressive, Bazball style of Test cricket. Is that how you feel too?
I think so. I think I spoke to Stokes about how he talks to the batters, and he just says like, it'd be perfect for the way you play, and there's no question marks over any shots that you play, and which gives me the license, I guess, to play a few more rush shots, I guess. But I think even with the ball, I think just speaking to him, he's more on the aggressive side, and I know I go for runs and all that kind of stuff, but he knows there's also some wicket-taking deliveries in between, that's all he cares about, really.
4 years ago, the opening Test of the last home Ashes series, you were dropped after it. You went on to lose your central contract. Is there a sense of righting that wrong, unfinished business, and burying those memories here?
Not really. I kind of get over those things pretty quickly. I mean, is that 4 years ago, was it? It seems ages ago. I mean, it seems like yesterday, so now I've forgot about all those things. I just kind of moved on now, and it's so much a bit of a fresh start, and just see how we go.
And finally, from me, have you thought beyond this series whether you'd like to continue the Test career? You're close to 3,000 Test runs, 200 wickets.
Well, we'll see. I mean, I'm kind of guy who's a bit go with the flow kind of thing, and at the moment it's just these 2 games. Obviously, they only pick the squads for 2 games, so let's play these games and see what happens.
Thank you. Good luck.
Joe, go ahead.
Hi, Mo. Do you know, or have you been told, what your specific role will be? I mean, I guess Leach was there largely to perhaps just be very economical, to keep one end going, all that kind of stuff. Do you think you can do that? Is that what you're expected to do, or are you coming in to take wickets?
I've never been able to hold an end up. When I have, it's when I've been taking wickets, and that's the only time I've been able to really build any sort of pressure and stuff. But I know obviously Ben and Baz know that, and obviously you want to take wickets all the time, so doesn't mean it's going to happen. But it might be times where I need to try and build a bit of pressure and stuff, and just play the game, play what's in front of me. I'm sure they know what they're going to get from me, in terms of there won't be a lot of maidens all the time.
Ben Stokes is talking about making the dressing room the most inclusive place it can be, Mo. And I think when he says inclusive, he means not just questions of faith and identity and backgrounds, but kind of personalities. characters as well. Do you feel that? Do you feel this is the most kind of positive place you've been around with England? I know you're just coming back into the testing here, but is that a big sense for you?
I've felt, to be honest, I've felt like that for a while in the change room, especially in the white ball stuff. It's always been like that ever since probably 2015. Test side, you can just see from the outside that it is like that, and I know Stokes, he likes characters and players that can stand up at different times, and he's more about that than the actual result, and the process is the most important thing to him. And it's great to spend time with him because actually a lot of the, I think, successful teams think like that, and the process and the characters in the team are the most important thing.
And here you are coming back into the test team in Birmingham. I mean, you got to captain England in Karachi last year. I mean, it feels like it's all kind of coming together, Mo. I mean, do you ever imagine this kind of synchronicity happening?
No, I didn't. Obviously, when I retired, I was done, and that was the end of playing. But obviously, and the unfortunate injury to Leachy meant I got a message and a call from Stokesy and Baz and Keezy, so let's see what happens.
Just a thought, I mean, you're such a popular member of the team and the crowd will really be behind you. There are people who would look at county cricket, Mo, and say, look, this spinners play should go to a guy who's bowling spin Red Bull Cricket County Championship every week. How would you respond to that kind of feedback?
It's obviously a difficult one for me because I never picked myself, and it's not. I just got the call, and I never really thought about that. I mean, obviously, there's players out there who are playing and doing all right, but I think they know me quite well, and it's not just about having the character and the person in the change room that you want, but sometimes it's the results do matter, and the process and all these kind of things matters, and I've got to perform and make some important impacts in the game.
And just finally from me, ultimately, Mo, do you think you would have done this for any other captain?
Probably not, no.
Thanks, Joe. Down at the back of the room for ITV.
Hi Mo, I just wonder how big a decision it was that it's Birmingham, the first test, and how much that influenced your decision.
I think it wasn't a massive part, but it was obviously helpful because I live around the corner, and I still obviously get to see my family in the evenings and stuff like that. But I think it made a bit of a difference for sure because it is home, and I like playing here, and it's a great ground to play, and I've obviously just recently played here, so but I wouldn't say it was the biggest reason, no.
I know you say you go with the flow, but do you anticipate it being a bit emotional?
No, not really. I'm not a emotional kind of guy when it comes to cricket, so just play and enjoy it and try my best like I've always tried, and see how it goes.
So finally from me, you wrote a few years ago that Australia is the only team you've disliked playing. Do you still dislike them?
I've not played against them for a while. Well, apart from the World Cups and the white ball stuff, I've not really played against them, but they're a very good side, and yeah, I mean, things have changed in their camp as well, and I'm sure they're a little bit better now. But no, I mean, they're a brilliant side, and it was never cricketing reasons that I never enjoyed playing against them. They're a brilliant side, and Ashes is a lot of pressure.
We'll go Louis, Scott, and then Mel, and then we'll do one more.
Moeen, you said you've never, you've never been able to hold an end up before. Do you look at the Aussie top order? I think they've got 5 lefties in their top 8. Is it the case of you're trying to bowl wicket-taking balls to them? You're pretty confident you can do that?
I've always tried to do that. So I've hardly ever bowled, I think, for England where I thought, all right, I need to go at 2 and over, because I just know I've never been able to do that from a younger sort of age. So. And they have lefties, but I know also they're brilliant players of spin, and a lot of them are very dangerous. They've been quite successful in India against Ashwin and these guys, so I know it's going to still be hard work. Yes, of course, being left-handed is always nicer for an off-spinner to bowl at them, but it is also hard work, and against a top side like this, I'm going to have to bowl well.
And it could be hard work physically as well, right? Like bowling a lot of overs in Test cricket. You haven't played much first-class cricket, you know, at all, right?
Yeah.
Are you nervous about getting through 2, 5, 3, 4 Tests?
No, I think if I wasn't, if I didn't think I could get through overs, I probably would have said no. But I feel like I've been bowling a lot, even though I've been in match. I've been bowling a lot in practice, and over in India I bowled quite a bit. So I think I'll be fine. It's probably the fielding's gonna be the hardest thing. Being out there for the whole day, but it's again, you get used to it after the day, and you'll be fine.
Go ahead, Scott.
On that vein, I was going to ask, like, when was the last time you'd actually bowled, like, in training more than 4 overs in a spell? Because I imagine a lot of your training is just for T20 games, or I guess you'd be devoted to ice up, but actually prolonged spells in that sense.
During Napier, most of the time, like when you bowl more than 4 overs, and in practice, you meant, yeah? Yeah. In practice, I bowl quite a bit in practice. I bowl a lot, and I think that's probably one of the reasons Stokes did give me a call, because I did bowl a lot, and I was just working on trying to be as tight as I can.
And can I ask, am I right in thinking last year with Pakistan, you knocked back an advance and you decided you didn't want to come out of retirement for that? So why is it different this year as opposed to last year?
Many reasons. I think at that time I hadn't had the practice under my belt, number one, and also if I went to Pakistan, I wouldn't have been home for the whole 6 months, and I wanted to go home and spend some time because it was a long winter, and I'd been in Pakistan obviously with the T20s, and I fell sick there twice, and I didn't enjoy that.
Mel, one each with Mel, Mal, and then we'll finish with Dan.
Mo, it's an unusual way to come back into the side. I just wonder if it feels different coming in. Often players come into a side and they want to cement their place and do all of these other things. Does it feel different in a way, almost like a free hit for your Test career, and is that freeing?
I don't look at it as a Test career kind of thing. I just look at it, it is a free hit, and I'm not playing for my spot. And I think there's no pressure, really. I mean, obviously there's pressure of the occasion and the game, but there's no pressure in... When I spoke to Baz, he goes, he's not bothered about how I perform so much, so, which is quite nice in a way. But also, like, as an individual, I want to do well and contribute to winning games, and it is probably all the things I ever wanted to do in Test cricket. I'm going to try and do it in these games, and it could be dangerous, it could be not so dangerous, so we'll see.
Was there anything that you thought, oh, maybe that's a reason not to do it, or was it just all reasons for doing it?
I did have some family holidays booked. That was the only reason. But also, no, there wasn't many actually. It was just my wife wasn't that keen, but everybody else around me was.
Let's do Dan and we'll finish with Mal. Dan at the back, Chris. Thank you. Oh, sorry.
Mo, do you expect Australia are going to try to target you as sort of the new guy in the attack, and the fact that they've got a very good record against you with the ball?
100%. I think if I was them, I would do the same. But I think any spinner that came in would have been attacked, and yeah, I'm not expecting them to defend me and things like that. So yeah, I'm expecting them to come after me, which could be dangerous because Stokesy likes having the fielders up, so I could go for a lot of runs.
And just quickly, where do you expect to bat?
I think if I play, it obviously depends on the side, but more than likely 8. I think it's a more realistic sort of position. So yeah.
Last one, Malcolm at the front. Just pass the mic down, Dan. Thank you.
So, Moeen, I just wondered, you've got a bowling average of 65 against Australia. What have they done in the past that has allowed them to get after you, and what can you do to change that?
I think in the past they've obviously, I think majority of those numbers were probably in Australia, which was quite difficult. I found difficult to bowl in. I did have a couple of other issues there, but they've always played me well, and I've picked up a few wickets here and there, in particular in England, and differently. I think I'm just a bit more, obviously, probably a bit smarter with my bowling, and that's one thing. I think when I played previously, I just bowled and didn't really think too much about it. And I know I've been out of the game, but I've always thought, like, if I played Australia again, I would do this differently and this differently, and I'm going to try and do those things, which obviously I don't want to say, but it won't be too much.
Thank you.
We're done. Thanks.